I'll do anything.
Welcome to another Ultimate Expression video. It's been a heck of a lead off to the new year with all the cold weather, delays in classes, couldn't get in class, feeling the pressure the first couple of weeks because I'm behind, and it feels like I'm behind. So professors in college, they're not going to give you extra time or extended time on a lot of things, especially like online classes, to help you catch up. They just expect you to stay ahead, and whatever else circumstances that you had to take care of during the cold weather, you know, they're not going to give you time for that. You still got to study, you still got to maintain a house, still got to maintain a business, maintain a job, whatever it is that you have. So you got to stay on it. So I'm just feeling the pressure from that. Vlog's been kind of slow. Been kind of slow because of the weather, but I got a few topics I want to talk about. Usually when I do vlogs, I don't like to do them all from the car, especially a few of them in a row from the car. I like to go out to different settings and give you guys some different backgrounds and do some traveling and things like that. I just recently had the first opportunity to travel and get out of town, but it wasn't a leisurely trip. It was more of business and get things done because I'm trying to play catch up. When I'm trying to play catch up, I don't have the video camera in my hand, getting a lot of different types of footage. Right now I'm headed to the gym to get in a workout. As you saw in the intro, you know, some people are willing to go broke to buy the car of their dreams. Some people are willing to go broke to get that Hellcat. Some people are willing to go broke to get a jailbreak. I remember the Dodge Viper, and I know a lot of you guys remember the Dodge Viper. And when the Dodge Viper came out, and I believe some of the first Vipers that I looked at, the price on those cars was $60,000. That seemed like a bit of a stretch during those times, and it was for the majority of the people. But it was a fast car, and it was a quick alternative rather than looking for a Lamborghini to buy. The reason I say that, you could get into that car and you could smoke half the cars that were on the road. But when you have that kind of money and you get that car out on the road, just exactly how are you going to treat it? How are you going to maintain that car? What happens when you get a flat tire? What happens when you get the blowout? What happens when you just need the basic maintenance? Right now I'm going to get in the gym and get this workout. And when I get finished, we'll start talking about this. Woo! It's a good workout. Dues paid. You should come get a workout with me. You should do some jiu-jitsu with me. Maybe some kickboxing. So you want to buy a car? Okay, let's get into it. We have different types of car buyers. We have car buyers that like brand new cars, untouched. And then we have people who like used cars. And then we have people who like the cars when they reach a classic stage. Now, each one of these buyers has a specific worth that they want to invest into the car. I'm not the new car buyer. I'm more of the used or the classic car buyer. Sometimes, well, a lot of people, you can find yourself in financial trouble later in your life, depending on your lifestyle and how much wealth that you have. Because car dealers do a really great job of marketing their cars and being competitive in certain areas of the market. And the areas of the market I'm specifically talking about is more of the muscle car. And four-door cars now can be considered muscle cars, but they have that muscle car power. Now, if you're in the market for a pickup truck or something that's like a diesel, you might be into that type of performance, But that performance may not be on a track. That performance may be within your job or your profession. So the financial cost of moving forward with that purchase will pay you back in the long run, because you're going to use it for work. So that truck and that expense you put into that truck is going to earn you money back. And I say that because we take the Hellcat, and sometimes you get that markup of close to $100,000. Like I've mentioned in other videos, you've heard that across many other people's YouTube channels and videos. You've seen that on the car lots. They can run 100K. So when you put that investment of 100K into a Hellcat or any other car, is that car over a certain amount of time going to earn you that dollar back? And the likelihood of that being possible, I say, is very slim, unless you're a big time YouTuber and you're making a lot of money, and then you're supplementing that income with your lifestyle activities as a professional in some type of automotive sport, or you're in the automotive professional field and you make money otherwise. When you make those things a part of what you do, sometimes you can recoup financial costs, and it can make sense to make the investment of $100,000 car. Now, if you're the average Joe out here, which most of us are, you have a job, and that job is just a means to you surviving. That's not a means to building wealth or anything else. Your means to building wealth will come with outside investments, any type of investments that you make that will earn you income in the long run and start to earn you wealth, unless you have cash flows of passive income that you can, put into your bankroll. So when you're making that purchase of a car, brand new car, and say you just get enough to where you can afford the payment. You just get enough where you can afford the payment. Then you factor in the cost of gas. You could be spending $100 a week in gas if that's your only car. You could be spending $200 or $300 a month in insurance. You're going to have maintenance. You got to have, you got to buy new tires. You got to buy new oil. You got to buy new spark plugs. There's a lot of expensive items that are attached to these cars. I remember a time when I was younger and I had my first ride, and I looked at buying other rides or trading into another type of car, and the average cost of new cars were at $13,000, and then I saw that increase to $16,000, and I saw it increase to like $24,000-$25,000, and it just kept rising. Now, by the time I had a family, the first brand new vehicle that I bought, I paid around $33,000 to $34,000 for it, and that was with like a $12,000 rebate. Whether that was a good deal or not, I'm sure the dealer made their money in it, but the cost for me, it was well worth the cost, because I had a family at the time, and that vehicle done its job for the time that we needed it to do. Now, paying that sucker off was a larger endeavor. During that time, I acquired another vehicle, and that was the Dodge Magnum, the RT that I had. And it was significantly less in cost, and it was a whole lot of car at the time for when I bought it. And like I said in earlier videos, I wanted the SRT, I wanted the 6.1 at that time. But when I looked at spending that amount of money, I couldn't justify spending $10,000 to $15,000 more on a car that was going to put me out of my financial range, considering I just bought a van and I was paying that off, and I didn't want to be paying out $1,000 in car payments each month. Basically, that's going to take, food off your table. It's going to take something off your table. It's going to take some type of extra sacrifice. It's going to take a certain amount of time that you have to put in to earn that money, which at the time, I didn't have the time to put that extra little bit forward. Does it make sense to you to buy something that's $100,000? Like a few videos back, I showed the Dark Horse, Ford Mustang Dark Horse. That's a $76,000 car. You know, these cars, $75,000 plus, will get you into Mustangs, will get you into the Dodge series of cars. It will get you into a Camaro. Some of the Camaros are probably the cheapest. Some would say they're also the slowest, and the Mustangs are the fastest. Some Dodge owners would beg to differ. The want is there, the market is there for people to want these types of cars. Now, I would like to go out to the lot and look at anything and that I wanted and to be able to buy it. But I know that can put you into some trouble a little bit later. And what I'm getting at is you're better off to buy something used for at least half the cost and wait later in life before you make that huge purchase, because it may not seem like it at the time when you buy the car and you put $100K and you're working a 40-hour-a-week job, maybe 50-hour-a-week job, and you get that payment and you get that maintenance bill and you have the gas expenses, and you find all you're doing is working to own that car. And whether it's 72 months or more, you're going to spend 5 years or more just working to pay for a car. When in that 5 years, you could be investing in some type of financial investments on yourself that will have a bigger return in less than 15 years, especially if you're in the ages of 20, your early 20s. You can go out and make those investments, and before you're 25, you make an investment in a 10 to 15 year time. You start to accumulate compound interest in some of your investments. If you want to know about investments, you need to go look that stuff up. Because if you're in that age range, buying a Hellcat, it may make you feel good, may look good going down the road. 3 days in, and you got to fill up that tank, and you're going to feel that every time. But if you spent 5 years, 10 years investing in yourself and you get a significant return on that investment, waiting 10 years to buy a sports car isn't a bad wait. It's a necessary wait, because there are going to be other things that come along that you might like. You're going to get into cars and you're going to want to trade cars. You're going to want to trade it for this. You're going to want to fix it up. You're going to want to do a lot of different things. The best options that I found were always to buy used and to buy within a certain budget, especially if I want to customize the car. When you're younger, in the 20s, that investment in the car seems like it's going to take forever to pay off. But for an investment on yourself of 10 to 15 years is also going to seem like an eternity. But believe me, later in life, that cash that you earn back will pay off, to where if you want to go out and hit a lot and buy the newest sports car that you want to buy, will be an option for you. Because remember, just working a job is just to sustain life. If you want to build wealth, you got to go beyond just having a 40-hour work week. You got to go beyond than just 16 hours away from work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours to eat and take care of your family or take care of yourself. You know, and if you do put the investment forward to buy that brand new Hellcat, that brand new Scat Pack, that brand new Dark Horse, if you put that investment forward, is that going to pay you back in any type of way? It's going to pay you it's going to refill your pocketbook. Is it part of your lifestyle? Are you going to the racetrack and earning that money back? Or are you cruising around and burning off your tires and creating more expenses for yourself? Now, don't get me wrong. You know, a lot of people, that's fun to spend their money like that. But it's not a necessity of life when it comes down to it. You can buy any jalopy and do the same thing with it and not fear of losing out on a major purchase. You've seen some of the reaction videos that I've done on the police pursuits. A lot of those cars on there are stolen. You see some of the videos out there, the takeovers, guys out spinning donuts in the middle of intersections. A lot of those cars are stolen, and that's a whole nother video I could do and do another talk over. You take somebody that puts that much money into a car and goes out here and they're caught speeding and they choose to run from the police and they wreck their car and they spend over $100,000 for a car when they can afford $120 citation, $120 speeding ticket. If you believe that's why the people are running, you're a little bit naive to what's actually going on out here. You need to take another look at what actually goes on in life as opposed to what goes on YouTube for entertainment. So very few people have the wealth to go out and buy that much money on a car and go out here and just wreck it haphazardly. I'm not saying there are some people that hadn't done it, but their means of financial cost probably not the same as yours. And that car may be making them money. You know, there's different types of auto sports and things that you can get in to where that is a sound investment for you to make, is spending that money on the car. So it's just a few thoughts that I have on the purchasing of sports cars. If you want to classify them that, sports cars, supercars, any type of cars, what kind of sense does it make? What kind of sense does it make for you to make that purchase? I want to know what you think. Made it this far in the video, leave me a comment below. What type of consumer are you? Do you like the new cars? Do you like to buy the used? Do you like to buy a classic? Is it a financially wise decision for you to spend $100K on a car, or maybe $50K, whatever the cost may be? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to go watch some of these other videos of mine. Also like, share, subscribe, do all those things. And like I always say, Ultimate Expression 2024.